I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is Psych Hacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is there are only two goals. The importance of goals cannot be overstated. If we do nothing, things get worse. This is the law of entropy. Disorder increases inside of a closed system. This law is baked into the fabric of reality. It is not a product of our culture or our social systems. As Shakespeare wrote, "'Tis an unweeded garden that grows to scorn. Things rank and gross in nature possess it merely." So we need goals, because if we do nothing, life falls apart. Some effort is required simply to maintain the status quo and to counteract decay, disorder, and dissolution. And that effort can be directed in a myriad number of ways. However, I'm here to tell you today that there are really only two goals. And before I get into this framework, please remember to like this episode and subscribe to this channel. It takes less than a second, costs you nothing, and it's a way that you can help stave off the entropy inside this closed system. So, do the thing. Now, as I said, there are really only two goals. Here they are. The first is that you can start doing something that you're not doing, and the second is that you can stop doing something that you are doing. That's it. All goals can be subsumed into one of just these two categories. Now, just because this is a simple framework doesn't mean that there's no substance here. Most importantly, this framework clarifies that all goals, regardless of whether they seem related to external phenomena, are really self-directed action. All goals are properly behavioral. A happy marriage isn't really a goal. Changing how you respond to your partner so that you fight less is. A bank account with $10 million in it isn't really a goal. Building a side hustle that earns a significant passive income is. And this is helpful because to the extent that you localize the goal in your own behavior, you simultaneously begin to develop a plan of action for attaining that goal, and this will make it more likely that you get what you want faster. And if you want to see the fastest improvement, it's best to prioritize the latter goal. That is, to stop doing something that you are currently doing. It's better to stop doing the one or two things that are hampering or obstructing your progress. And this is because in this world, pleasure and pain, creation and destruction are not really equal. One or two bad actions can counteract tens of good ones. It's not a one-to-one equivalence. Generally, bad things are more bad than good things are good. For whatever reason, reality is such that bad things are overpowered. So rather than screw up all this discipline and intentionality and effort to do things that you're not currently doing in order to get more good in your life, first direct that discipline and intentionality and effort toward things that you are currently doing in order to get less bad in your life. This is because even if you succeeded in the first attempt, which would be hard to do anyway, your progress might be counteracted by the decay that you've left unaddressed. And this will corrode your discipline and intentionality over time with respect to the good actions, because you won't really be seeing a lot of improvement or progress for your efforts. And it's very difficult to maintain consistency, which is a requisite of progress under these circumstances. Finally, if goals are behavioral, that is, if they are things you either do or don't do, then you can really only have one goal at a time, because you can really only do one thing at a time. This is really important. Sometimes folks fall into this kind of mania for goal setting, often around New Year's, and they try to work on too many things at once. And this generally leads to suboptimal outcomes and self-recrimination. Why do that to yourself? Pick one thing and work on it until it kind of becomes routinely integrated into your lifestyle. It could take several months, but that's okay. Once it's there, it's stable, and you can turn your attention to the next goal. A successful life is like spinning plates. You have to give a plate enough attention and energy for it to kind of hum along for a while you attend to something else. Otherwise, it'll wobble and crash as soon as you take your eyes off it. Hopefully this all makes sense to you. What do you think? Do you have any tips for goal setting? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you for listening.